Hi everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel over at youtube.com/Corinne Blackstone. You won't want to miss out on any of the fun tutorials that I have coming out. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the sublimation version of our tote that came in the craft kit. Now keep in mind, you can always buy this tote from 143vinyl and use code Corinne to save 5%. The designs are exclusive to the craft box, but don't worry, you can do whatever you want onto these and they're so fun. Sublimation is a great way to add tons of color to your designs, and it's so easy and really fun to do. I'm going to show you how to set up your print to make sure that you get a nice, successful, bright print. I'm going to show you how to press this and tell you a little bit more about sublimation.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
This is one of the images that I'm including with this craft kit box. I thought this one was super cute and adorable, and I do feel like books are a great place to escape. But I also am including this cute little design, which I thought was really fun as well, because I am the queen of forgetting my bag in the car when I want to use a reusable bag. So I just thought this one was super fun, and I think this one will print out really nice with sublimation. But I am going to show you how to do this one just because it's a little bit more colorful and fun. Once you're over in Inkscape, which you can download at inkscape.org, and it is free, what I want you to first do is go to File and click on where it says Document Properties, and make sure that your document is set to 8.5 by 11. That's super duper important. And because we're going to print this in the landscape orientation, go ahead and change where it says orientation to landscape. Then close this box. Then what you want to do is go to File and Import, and then you'll find the image that you want to use. Double click it, and it's going to just bring up this PNG bitmap image import. You don't have to change anything, just click OK. Now you'll notice that it's much bigger than our page, so we do want to reduce the size. It's really important that you hold Control when changing the size of anything in Inkscape, because it will change scale if you don't hold Control. So there is your design. Now again, we can kind of play with it and see if we can fit it bigger if we do portrait, but I have found that the landscape is better for this because it just fits a little bit better. It's a perfect square, so it doesn't really matter, but on my printer, I just find that I liked it a lot better in the landscape form for placing it on to my tote bag. Now, if you want to check your sizing, up here at the top, just like in Inkscape, there is a width and a height, and then this right here is in millimeters. If you want, you can change it to inches, and that's going to help you kind of see how large your print is. That way it can kind of give you an idea of about how big your image will be. Now, all we need to do is to mirror our image, which we can do two different ways. The one way that I personally like to do it is to flip it in Inkscape before I even click print. To do a flip in Inkscape, just here at the very top, you'll see kind of these different triangles, and these are all different ways to flip your image. So for this one, we're going to flip our object horizontally, which is this triangle with the yellow triangle. When you do that, it automatically mirrors your design. Then you can just follow the next steps, but I'm going to unflip it really quick so I can show you the other step, the other way that you can do this. What you're going to do is click File and click Print. Make sure you have the printer that you're using selected, so I need to select my ST4000. That's my sublimation printer. Then I need to go to Preferences, and I want to make sure that I change a few options. Now, I do borderless printing. It always tells me it may decrease the clarity on the edges. I never have that problem with this printer. And I want to make sure that I change my quality to I usually will do like standard vivid. When you do borderless, it doesn't let you choose high. If I turn off borderless, I can choose the high setting, but I typically do choose the borderless print, and then I just do standard vivid, and it's totally fine. Color is always going to be selected there, but we need to do a couple more settings over here under more options. Click on more options, and you're going to turn off your high speed print, which is right here. And you want to click mirror image if you elect not to flip it on the Inkscape screen. Either way works, and either way is just fine. Now all you have to do is click OK and print your image. We need to prepare our tote in order to put on our sublimation. So the first thing that I want to do, especially since I have lots of pets, is to give this a little swipe with a lint roller. Because if you have any hair under your design, what's going to happen is the ink will adhere to the hair and not to your tote. So what we're going to do here, this is our sublimation print, and you'll see, again, it is mirrored. So what I want to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I can see a little bit through the back, which is awesome, because that is going to help me make sure everything is straight and even where I want it. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is take some heat tape, which I have this really cool tape dispenser, and it actually cuts my tape for me. Makes it so much easier. It cuts it into these little sections, and it's perfect for doing these. Now this tote does not love to have the tape stuck to it, so be careful and make sure you get quite a few pieces of tape down so that your image is well held down to your tote. Now, like I said, because this tote doesn't love to have the tape stuck to it, I do tend to put a few extra pieces of tape on to my design just so that I make sure that it's not going to go anywhere when I move my tote. The next thing that you need is butcher paper, and this is going to help keep any ink from bleeding off of your design onto your press. So all I do is I just cut out a piece of butcher paper, and you're going to want to put one on the inside of your tote as well. This is pretty thick fabric, so I don't think it will bleed through, but it's always important to have a little extra something in between your image and your fabric here, like through the fabric. Especially if you're doing like a thinner shirt, you always want to have something inside to protect. We're also going to put our pressing pillow inside of our tote to allow it to push any of the seams down a little bit so that you're not trying to press the seam of your bag when you're trying to press your design. I'm just using a Nakapa pressing pillow. I got this from Amazon. I'll link everything that we're using for this down below. And all I'm doing is putting that into my tote bag. And then I want to make sure to take a piece of my parchment paper and I want to place that inside of my tote as well. Now you'll note it's a little bit wide. So what you can do is either trim it down or just fold an edge. It's really up to you how you want to do it. It doesn't totally matter, but you do just want to make sure that it's going to fit under your design, the whole design covered. There we go. That looks good. And then we'll put this piece of butcher paper on top of our design. And again, it's a little bit big. You can always fold it if it bothers you that it's a little big, but it really doesn't matter. It just needs to make sure that it covers your entire design. So I'll take you over to the heat press. We're going to press this at 400 degrees for 60 seconds, and that's going to allow the activation of the sublimation ink. Because if you didn't know, sublimation ink, when heated, turns into a gas, and then what it does is it dyes your fabric, and that's how it becomes permanent. You need to use sublimation with polyester products, which this tote bag is. So let's go ahead over to the heat press, and I'll show you guys how to press. I've got everything set up on my press, so I have my butcher paper, my sublimation, my tote, my other butcher paper, and then my pressing pillow all ready to go. We're going to press this at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. We're almost ready to pop this up, so as soon as it beeps, you can go ahead and pull your press up, and it will be very warm, so just be aware of that. And we are going to make sure to remove our butcher paper. This one didn't get too much bleed through, so it's not bad, and we can actually remove our design right away. You do not need to wait at all. And I'll let this cool off, and then we can take a look and see how it came out. Here is the finished tote bag. I think it came out super cute, super bright, really, really vibrant, and it is just adorable. This will be perfect to take to the library, to the beach, all sorts of great places. And what I love about sublimation is that it's permanent. So there's no ridges or anything like that on this. You can wash this, it's totally fine, and it is going to stay nice and bright because this is 100% polyester. When working with sublimation, the higher the polyester count for your fabric, the brighter and more true your colors are going to be with your image. So just keep that in mind if you are working with sublimation. Now, I used StarCraft sublimation ink and the StarCraft paper for this, and I think it just came out so cute and so pretty, and I'm super excited to take this tote and put some books in it and go read a really good story. If you guys have questions about this or any other fun crafts, please let me know in those comments down below. Also, if you have a great book recommendation, let me know. I love to read and would love to hear some of your favorites as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!